What's up, you guys? Steve here with your stimulus check update and stimulus package update with some breaking news that just came out from President Joe Biden, who just had a press release and he made some modifications to the PPP program starting right now. So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. And also, he called out for bipartisan support on the American Rescue Plan. And we actually received word today from several Republicans that there's pretty much no support for this plan, so Democrats are only going to be pushing through this new stimulus package through reconciliation if they remain unified. So I've got a lot of video footage to share with you guys in today's video, so I'm going to be watching along, getting you caught up on the latest as of today, February the 22nd. But before we dive in, if you could do me a quick favor, it'll just take a second. Be sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to join the Ram fam and stay up to date on everything rolling out, and also be sure to follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. But let's go ahead and dive into this video footage. We've got a lot to get caught up on. There's a lot unfolding today. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and dive right into this breaking news regarding Joe Biden, who just did this press release a little while ago, and he's going to give us an update right now on the American Rescue Plan and on the PPP program. Let's go ahead and take a look.
The American Rescue Plan is a rescue plan for America's small businesses and America's mainstream businesses, and we need Congress to pass it right away. I'm grateful to the Senate and the House for moving so quickly. And I want to make it clear I'm prepared to hear ideas about how to make the American Rescue Plan better and cheaper. But we have to make clear who we're helping and who it would hurt. I always try to help people like Tim and Pilar and all the country's small businesses and families, the workers, the communities that depend on them to survive, recover, and grow. And it's my hope that as Democrats and Republicans who have backed the PPP program, that Democrats and Republicans will back the American Rescue Plan. The vast majority of the American people, more than 70% of the American people, including a majority of Republicans, want us to act based on all the polling data, act big and act quickly. Major economists, left, right, and center, here and abroad, say we should focus on smart investments that can make jobs available and focus on the jobs and in the people, to prevent long-term economic damage to our nation and to strengthen the economic competitiveness going forward. In fact, an analysis by Wall Street's firm Moody's estimates that if we pass my American Rescue Plan, the economy will create 7 million jobs this year. We've also been in constant contact with the mayors and governors, county officials, members of Congress of both parties in every state. That includes a letter, I might add, from more than 400 mayors from big and small cities, Democrat and Republican. They agree we have to act and act now. They understand we're not going to get our economy back in shape and the millions of people back to work until we beat this virus. Getting our economy back means bringing our small businesses back. And that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm doing today. We're going to focus. The program ends at the end of March, but for the next 2 weeks, the only folks who can apply for that PPP money are businesses with fewer than 20 employees. Thank you very much.
So there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. For the next 2 weeks, only those with 20 employees or less are going to be able to apply for the PPP program. So this is a sudden change that came out of nowhere. Let me know your thoughts and how this will be impacting small businesses. Now, in addition to that, we also heard him request for bipartisan support in passing through the American Rescue Plan right away. However, throughout the day, we've been seeing reports that Republicans do not support the American Rescue Plan. They're saying that it's a liberal wish list and they are not on board. And let's look at some video footage of what we actually heard today from a couple Republican representatives.
House Minority Whip Steve Scalise, Republican from Louisiana. Great to see you today. I know the list is long, and this is just one example, but why in the world is an underground project for rail, which hasn't broken ground yet, in resource cash-rich Silicon Valley, California, in a bill to help people who are suffering the middle of a pandemic?
Harris, I hope that everybody in America is taking a look at some of the liberal pork in this bill and what they're trying to do, all in the name of COVID relief. And boy, we need to rush this through. Didn't we hear this before? You know, you got to pass the bill to find out what's in it. you're going to be finding out a lot of things that are very disturbing. Less than 10% of the money in this $1.9 trillion bill is for public health. And in fact, if you look at the schools money, we ought to be opening up every school in America right now. The money's there to do it. There's over $60 billion still out there from the previous bipartisan bills to safely reopen schools. They're going to give another $100+ billion. And you saw the president's spokesperson yesterday said it's not even going to require them to open up schools. They just get the money. They don't have to educate our kids in the classroom, which is devastating millions of kids across America. That's what's in this bill. It's $15 minimum wage, bailout of failed states like New York. Think about this. Governor Cuomo still won't release the data. We had an amendment to require Cuomo in this bill to release the data on nursing home deaths. He still won't give that.
Yes.
Even Democrats are calling for his removal. California's got a $10 billion surplus right now. Gavin Newsom was bragging about that last week. $10 billion surplus in California. This bill is going to borrow money from our kids to give Gavin Newsom billions more. This makes no sense. It's destructive to our economy. Larry Summers, not a conservative economist, said that it could actually lead to more devastation in our economy long term, including slowed growth and lost jobs. I mean, this bill is really devastating for America. We need to defeat it and focus on helping families and small businesses get back open and schools get back open.
In this stimulus bill, let's bring in Republican Congressman from Wisconsin, Mike Gallagher. Representative Gallagher sits on the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Let's just start first with this transportation earmark. I mean, it's $100 million out of a $1.9 trillion bill. You are on the Transportation Committee. What is your view of this request?
Well, the obvious question, Eric, is what the heck does this have to do with coronavirus? And the obvious answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. The bill isn't about coronavirus. It's about Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer exploiting the crisis to funnel billions of dollars to California and New York in a cynical attempt to get reelected. Eric, these are not serious people, and they can't be trusted with leading this country. And if you think that's too harsh, consider who the Democrats are working for right now, the teachers' unions. How much more evidence?
Let me just interrupt you. That does sound a little harsh to say you can't trust them to lead the country. I mean, look, the mass transit systems have been really hit hard by coronavirus. The head of BART, which is this is the part of the San Francisco Bay Area transportation system, says, man, oh man, they're going to have, tons of layoffs. They've lost billions of dollars. They've cut service across the country, and that they need money. They need this money because it is directly related to coronavirus. What would your response be to that?
For a brand new underground rail project, I don't think that holds water. And if that's true, okay, I'm on the Transportation Committee. Let's have that debate through the committee process in transportation and infrastructure, and let's move a bipartisan infrastructure bill, not saddle it in a budget reconciliation process on a coronavirus bill, because it's actually not about coronavirus right now. So I just think and we saw this with the last bill that worked through Congress. We haven't spent half the money that went through the last bill. We have to be targeted and focused. And I think there's a lot of Republicans, myself included, who are willing to do more to make sure that vaccines get widely distributed, are willing to do more to make sure that hospitals have the cost covered that they're taking on for administering the vaccine. And that's the best way we can actually open up this economy, not stay shut down. And that's the best thing we can do to help people economically, is to allow them to go to work, allow teachers to go to school, and allow parents to have somewhere to send their kids during the day.
In terms of what you think there finally will be, I mean, the president has proposed, $290 billion for 11 million Americans, checks at 1,400. If you make up to 75,000, what do you expect will be in the final bill?
Well, we don't know now, because the other part of this process that is a huge problem is it's tightly controlled at the top. And as you know, as we saw with the last iteration, at the last second, they plop a 5,000-page bill in front of us with no opportunity to amend that bill, and they force members to vote in a matter of hours. And so let me state the obvious, Eric, which is unfortunate that members of Congress are not reading the bills that they're voting on and taking trillions of taxpayer dollars and spending it in the process because of the bad process in D.C. So I hope they will step back from this. I hope President Biden will consider a bipartisan approach that goes through the committee process, allow for amendments, rather than ramming this through as quickly as possible when we haven't even spent all of the money we passed in the last round.
So there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We heard from both of them saying that there's things in here in this bill that have nothing to do with the pandemic. I think in the first one we heard them say only about 10% is actually going to providing pandemic relief at this time, and the rest they're saying is full of pork, liberal wish list items. They're saying that they're trying to push through to help out California and New York, we heard in those interviews. So once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, we have heard that they're going to be getting this through in the House hopefully this week. Then it's going to be moving on to the Senate. The Senate will hopefully vote on it. If there's any changes, it will have to go back to the House. This is the process that we're going to be going through, but they're saying they're confident they're going to get this done in time before the March 14th cutoff deadline. And once again, you guys, if you want to know the latest regarding the stimulus checks and what's in the actual 591-page bill, be sure to check it out right here where I go through the details of the Ways and Means Committee section and go into very deep detail on the stimulus check provisions. So once again, check those out right here, you guys, and I'll be sure to keep you up to date as more information rolls out. We're also hearing that they're giving specific dates now as to when they're going to be voting on these and passing it through. So I'm going to get you guys those here in an upcoming video here very shortly as well. But you guys, I hope this reaches you well. And once again, if you made it this far and you haven't already, take a second to smash the like button. I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. Also, if you're not already part of the viewing community and you would like to stay up to date on everything rolling out, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that way as soon as I upload videos, you can get notified. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. Well, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. Take care. God bless. Have a blessed day. This is Steve.